page 142. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bachem Shalom Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Nir Shalom Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem Shalom Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom to all of you here with us in person, and to everybody who is with us over our live stream. Shabbat Shalom to you. Did you get that email this week about if we sometimes whisper to each other, you guys
don't hear it,
but they do. So if you really want to know what's going on, take out your smartphones during services and watch us on the live stream, and then you'll actually be present with us.
Although I don't know you really want to know what we're talking about sometimes.
This week's Torah portion, Vayera, we begin, maybe, it's hard to say, of course, but maybe, one of the most famous sections of Torah, right? It begins the plagues in Egypt. We don't get through all of them this week, but through many of them, and one of the I think more troubling aspects, of course, of the plagues and Pharaoh's reaction to them, and this is obviously not anything new that I'm offering you right now, is Pharaoh's heart being hardened, and a constant area of discussion. Not only in the Jewish community, but I think more broadly as well. But Pharaoh's heart God doesn't harden Pharaoh's heart until I think the fourth plague. Before that, the Hebrew says that Pharaoh hardened his own heart. And it was only after this process of Pharaoh hardening his own heart that God started to get involved and harden Pharaoh's heart as well. And so as we move into the Shabbat and try to make some space inside ourselves for the peace of Shabbat to come in, I wonder if we can also think about the times when we act a little bit like Pharaoh, and there is a little Pharaoh inside of us, which of course there is, I think, for all of us. And when do we find ourselves in moments of wanting to harden our own hearts? Because if you're human, you probably do. There are probably moments where you see something happening, where somebody has done something to you that you just want to harden your heart. And I would say maybe on this Shabbat where we read so much about hardened hearts, that maybe we can just breathe in a little bit and breathe out and let our hearts be softened. Let our hearts be softened to the joy that's around us, the pain that's around us. Let our hearts be softened to the people we love, to the people we wish weren't in front of us, maybe. To just let our hearts be softened for a bit. We don't need God to do that. Just like Pharaoh didn't need God to harden his heart. We can do that ourselves. Our service continues on page 138, 139, Lechadodi, verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. When we reach the 9th and final verse of our song, of our prayer, Lechadodi, we'll rise and face the entrance to our sanctuary as we greet the Sabbath bride.
Lechadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad hishmi'anu el ha'meyuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad v'shem u'tiferet ve'letila. Lechadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha ki hi mekor haberacha merosh mikedem nesucha sof maaseh b'machshava tehila. Lechadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri kiva orech kumi uri shir daberi kvod Adonai alayich migla. Lechadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam besimcha u'v'tzola toch emunei am segula. Boi chala Lechadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
And we sing out to this day of Shabbat, giving thanks for God having created it, on page 140, Psalm 92. Page 140, Psalm 92.
Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat tov lehodot l'Adonai ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בכינור. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון.
honor to invite to our bima Susan Fisher to light our Shabbat candles, page 120, 121.
What do you do first? Okay. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, on our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Susan. Page 144, as we make our way into the main section of the service, Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba.
Amen.
B'yamad yivarach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei techol beit Yisrael ba'agala ba'agala uvizman kariv ve'imeru Amen. Yehi Shemei Rabba Mevorach Le'olam U'Lamei Almaya
Yitbarach
Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnasei V'yithadar V'yitaleh V'yithalal Shemei Dekudsha B'richu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata tamiran be'alma ve'imeru. Amen.
We continue with our call to prayer, the Baruch Hu, page 146. Please rise if you're able.
Ya la la, ya la la la, 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 ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated. We read together on the bottom of page 149. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. And continuing responsively on the bottom of 151. wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol.
All these things your Torah gives to us.
And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives.
What could be a truer token of your abiding love
than this holiest of your works in the living language that gives it form?
Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Please rise for Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha Hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibartam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'vlechtecha v'derech u'shochbecha u'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, lehiot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
I just wanted to take a minute and explain once more, just because it is a change that has happened since I've been the rabbi here, of why I have you sit down after the Baruch Hu, and then we do two prayers, and then you stand back up, rather pretty quickly, actually, between the Baruch Hu and the Shema. Okay, so I bet some of you have been wondering about this. What is going on here? Why does he make me do squats all the time? So here's the reason. So there is a disagreement in the Talmud, actually, about how one should say the Shema, whether standing or sitting. And it is actually the Palestinian tradition to stand for the Shema. But the Babylonian tradition of usually sitting, or in this case, maintaining the position that you're in, won out as the way that most Jews for 2,000 years or so said the Shema. They would maintain what position they were in, right? And there's a whole discussion: if you're on a donkey, do you get off your donkey to say the Shema? Right? It depends on if there are robbers around. Okay. So this conversation happens, but of course, in the natural flow of the service, you rise to the Baruch Hu, and then there's no reason to be standing anymore, so people sit down usually. And so that meant that in most synagogues, for most of the last 2,000 years, people were sitting for the Shema. Okay. Then the Reform movement came along in the 19th century, and I'm not exactly sure when the movement started standing for the Shema. It could have been in the 19th century, but clearly in the 20th century as well. And said, the Shema, this is a really important prayer, and we tend to stand for our important prayers. It is the watchword of our faith, as we all. I mean, it's universal amongst Jews. We should be standing for this. And so we started standing for it. And so if you grew up in a Reform synagogue, you were probably standing for the Shema since your childhood. And then, to my memory, at least in the synagogue I grew up in, we did not stand from the Baruch Hu through all the way to the Shema.
I know we didn't where I grew up.
I think that was an innovation of the 80s and 90s. And so here's what I think happened. As the Reform movement became more interested in dealing seriously with rabbinic texts, which I think we have over the last 50 years or so, the Reform rabbinate said, well, it says that we should maintain our position. So if we want to stand for the Shema, we should be standing all the way from the Baruch Hu through the Shema, so we maintain our position. And the whole idea, by the way, maintaining your position is about concentration, is about being in the right sort of place to say the Shema. Okay, so that's where we've been for a long time. I think that was a poor decision on the part of many in our movement, and here's why. If you think you're standing for the Shema because it's so important, then you can't elevate the other two prayers that come before it so that you can maintain that position, in my opinion, right? Because that's what we're doing by standing from the Baruch Hu all the way through the Shema, those two prayers that come in between. Now we've elevated them to the same position in some sense. So, I think it's more appropriate if what we're really going for is saying the Shema is very important and so we're going to stand for it, then I think it's more appropriate to sit after the Baruch Hu and then rise again. And to say, I appreciate the fact that the rabbinic literature says we should maintain our position, but we think there's something more important over that particular issue. I will say, in my own personal practice, I like to sit for the Shema. And I like to sit for the Shema because I don't think the Shema is actually a prayer. It's not being said to God. It's being said to yourself. It's being said to us. We're saying it to ourselves. And I think that it's meant to be a contemplative prayer for you to hear. And I think that sitting tends to be more contemplative. But I'm willing to go along with the movement and have everybody stand. Unless we decide differently one day. So speaking of standing, on 157, on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, and that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there, except by joining hands, marching together.
So this evening, we're going to be learning a new Mi Chamocha. Maybe new for some of us, maybe not for everyone, but it felt like at this pivotal moment in our story and also a new secular year, it's an opportunity to explore Mi Chamocha in a whole new way. So this melody I love, and the accompaniment, if you listen carefully, to me sounds like flowing water. But first I'd like to teach at least the Mi Chamocha melody, which is rather repetitive, so that we can all join together. So can I have a note? It goes like this. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Let's try that. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh. Almost the same, except it goes up at the end. Mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh. Norat tehilot. Oh, you know what? The next part's hard, so Nora tehilot. Oh, Sefele. Oh, Sefele. Let's try the whole thing. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot, o sefele. The verse is just starting on that note, singing pretty much the same melody on Malachutecha, and then when we get to Adonai Yimloch, it's back to this melody again. So let's share in these beautiful words on this beautiful melody together. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot, o sefele, malechutecha ra'u vanecha, bokei ayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Zeli, Zeli, anu ve'ameru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. V'ne'emar kifat Adonai et Yaakov, u'ge'alo miyad chazak mimenu, baruch atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael.
And on page 160, we pray that God protect us this night and every night. Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Ushmor tzitenu uvaenu lechaim u'shalom me'ata ve'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim.
And on page 162, we are reminded to keep this day different, special, holy. How will you do that? The prayer asks us. How will you make this day different than all the rest?
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי שבת וינפש.
The Amidah, the central prayer of this evening's service, begins on page 164. We will chant out loud together through page 170 and then continue silently either in Hebrew or English, or if those words don't speak to you, just close your book, your Siddur, and pray the words of your own heart, the words that only you and God know. And when you are done with your prayer, whether from the book or not, please be seated so that we know we can continue together as one community. For now, if you're able, please rise, page 164.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'konei Hakol V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'imahot U'mevii geula livnei b'neihem Lema'an shemo be'ahava Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah Atah gibor le'olam Adonai Mechayeh hakol atah rav le'hoshia Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem Mechalkel chayim bechesed Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim Somech nofalim v'rofei cholim Umatir asurim Umekayem emunato Lishenei afar Michamocha ba'al gevurot Umido melech Melech memit u'mechayeh U'matzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman atah lahachayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh hakol Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh U'kedoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha selah Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. the middle of page 180. Yehiu l'ratzon imrefi, Yehiu l'ratzon imrefi, v'hegiu libi lefanecha, Adonai tzuri v'gali. Oh, may the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable before you, my rock and my Redeemer. Oseh shalom bimromav, Yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imeru, Amen.
Seder Kriyat Torah can be found on page 364. It is my honor to invite to our Bima Jack Science, our VP of Religious Practice. Right? Is that what? Yes? Yes. The names, I never know. Please rise if you're able.
Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, Udevar Adonai mirushalayim, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadlul Adonai iti, Uniromima Shemo yachtav, Lecha Adonai hagedula, ve'hagevura, ve'hatiferet, ve'hanetzach, ve'hod, ki cho b'shamayim uvaretz, ki cho b'shamayim uvaretz, lecha Adonai hamamlacha, v'yamit na'aseh lecha lerosh. Al shlosha devarim על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד, על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים, על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, thank you, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד, הללו, 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 הללו.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Eva. Thank you, Molly. Okay. So, as I had mentioned before, we are beginning. Moses returning, essentially. I think he's actually already returned at the beginning of this week's Torah portion to the land of Egypt. But having this first sorts of real conversations with Pharaoh about letting the people, and at this point, interestingly enough, also not go free. That isn't the request that he's making. He wants the people to be able to go out into the wilderness and worship God. He doesn't say anything at first about going free from Egypt. And it's only later. So had Pharaoh, just loosened up a little bit, could have played out very differently for him and his folks. And for us, yes. But I'm just thinking of his point of view for a minute. And so the Cantor Hayud is reading actually right from the very beginning of the parsha.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. So this is actually the section, and you see the translation in your Torah portion in the handout. It's an interesting question here because, and I think we might have talked about this last year during Shabbat services, that it says here that God appeared to. In the third verse it says, I appeared to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob as El Shaddai, but I did not make myself known to them by my name, Yud-He, Vav-He. That is in fact not true. It's actually twice at least, but definitely twice, where God presents God's self as Yud-He, Vav-He to I think first to Abraham and then to Jacob. And so the commentators say, what is going on here? Why is God saying, this is, now you know me by my first name, so to speak. The others didn't, and the commentators answer that it isn't God's name per se, but sort of the compassionate aspect of God is introduced at this moment in Torah. That God's compassion for the Israelites is sort of welling up, and it is really at this point in Torah that the commentators make the most direct association between these two names of God that are used over and over again in Torah, Elohim and Yud-He, Vav-He, Adonai, as relating to two aspects of what God is, of who God is, right? Of both the sort of more stringent say, judge of Elohim, and the more compassionate aspect of God that we usually read of as Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh, as Adonai. And the rabbis are always sort of looking for those different aspects of God whenever they see the different names used in Torah. And it at least partially begins, that sort of thinking begins here at the beginning of this Torah portion. I'll stop talking for
I
now.
would say it's nice because both names are in the very first verse of the portion.
Yeah.
So
Very
it's
good.
very nice.
Excellent. So, as has become our new tradition, I think just this since 5779, really.
I think so.
Since this year, we'll say.
Okay.
But like also
But the past few months,
Yes.
because of the Jewish year.
if you are celebrating a birthday or anniversary this month of January, please join us on the Bima for the Aliyah and a blessing.
It's our anniversary.
Or it was.
It was.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, that means you have to stand over there. We'll do the Aliyah first. Yes. Let's do it that way. Where are those sheets?
I'm sorry.
It's
They're
okay.
here somewhere.
Here, we'll use the book.
Okay. Kind of forgot. Here, let's use a microphone also. So it picks everyone up. Excuse me, sweetheart.
Okay. That's all of you? Really? Okay. I know, right? So.
1, 2, 3. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Havarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Vaydaber Elohim el Moshe, Vayomer elav ani Adonai, Va'era el Avraham, el Yitzchak ve'el Yaakov be'er Shaddai, Ushmi, Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh, lo nodati lahem, ve'gam hakimoti et briti otam, latet lahem et eretz Kenan, et eretz migurehem asher garu va, ve'gam ani shamati, et na'akat b'nei Yisrael, asher Mitzrayim ma'avidim otam, va'eskor et beriti. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chaye olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Wait, don't put it down though, Abby. So what are you celebrating this month?
I will be celebrating my birthday
When is it?
a week from Saturday.
A week from
The 12th.
12th. Thank you.
Do you want a number? The 12th.
Sure. Yeah.
12 on the 12th.
Okay.
That's the number you're getting.
All right.
My anniversary.
Yeah. Yours too then?
Yeah, mine too.
Okay. How many years?
21.
All right.
On January 1st.
Did you have a drink then?
We did.
We're now legal.
Yeah.
My birthday on the 31st. I'm going to be 65.
Wow. Mazel tov.
I think I'll retire. I'm going to be 90.
When is your birthday though?
The 16th.
16th. Happy birthday.
My birthday on the 7th, and I'm going to be celebrating my 43rd.
All right. Pretty good.
I didn't say how old I was.
43rd of whatever sounds awesome.
So then, for all of you, in this month of celebration, of birthdays or anniversary. Mishaberach Avotenu v'Imotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless you like God blesses our ancestors this week with compassion, with more compassion for you, for your families, for those that you love. May God bless you with a year of health, of growth and wisdom, of growth in knowing more about yourself, who you are really meant to be in this world, and knowing more about your spouse as you continue to grow together. May it be a year of happiness and joy, and a year of celebration, I hope, for you, especially this month, of course. Happy birthday, happy anniversary. Mazal tov.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Happy birthday.
And maybe we can take some of that happiness and celebration, that joy of celebration, and pull it along with us as we also think of members of our community, friends and family and loved ones who are in need of healing, that some of that joy and happiness reach them as well, whether they're healing in body or in mind or in spirit. May they find a full and speedy healing. We are particularly mindful of Johanna Mabry, Debbie Pisrak, Joanne Blumberg, Erica Arnold, Marilyn Jeffs, Valentina Wolfson, Sally Rose Campbell, Hillary Handwerger, David Bloom, Judy Eisenberg, Milton Child, Jake Waxman, Bridget Ford, Roxanne Poandra, Joel Berger, Jeffrey Gersh, Margaret Leslie, Karen Simon, Andrew Pebers, Betsy Mark, Steve Gill, Stacy Young, Alana Weissman, Ruvain Levine, Jack Roper, Amy Pebers, Judah Schwartz, Sydney Usum, Barry Hopkins, and Paul Vanek. If there are other names to add to our list for healing, please do so as my eyes meet yours. in your handout.
Mi sheberach avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak veYaakov. Mi sheberach imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Leah, v'Rachel. May the one who blessed our fathers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Mi sheberach avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak veYaakov. Mi sheberach imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Leah, v'Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with a vision for tomorrow. Help us to reach out to those in pain. May the warmth of friendship ease our sorrow. Give us courage, give us faith, show us the way. Mi sheberach avotenu, mi sheberach imotenu. Hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well.
So I just wanted to mention in saying the Misha Berach, I realized we forgot to wish Marilyn Jeffs a happy birthday.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Marilyn.
Happy birthday, Marilyn. Thank you for that. Cantor Hayut. Please rise if you're able as we lift and dress our Torah.
V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe livnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. Ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la la. Eitz Chaim hi למחזיקים בה ותומכיה מאושר דרכיה תרחנום וכל נתיבותיה שלום שלום השיבנו אדוני אליך ולך yameinu kekedem.
Please be seated. Thank you. I'll give you some of them. Holly, will you pass those out? I got another helper over here. Yeah, pass. I only made 70, and I think there are a few more people here, so so some of us will have to share. So we're going to take a look just a few verses down. Where did you stop reading? At which verse, Cantor?
It's verse number 2, but it's the first verse of
Yeah, but you read it till verse 5. So we're skipping 5 verses in the Torah portion and going to verse 10. This section of the Torah is coming one right before a lineage, a listing of ancestry, and then it goes into Moses and Aaron going and meeting with Pharaoh. But there's something about these particular verses. Let's see if we can figure out like what's going on here, and why Rashi, who's going to be our first commentator, is going to make a comment here. So I'll read it since I have the microphone on. So it says, Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh spoke to Moses, saying, "Go and tell Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to let the Israelites depart from his land." But Moses appealed to Adonai, Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh, saying, "The Israelites would not listen to me. How then should Pharaoh heed me, a man of impeded speech?" And he's referring to himself, right? I have speaking problems. So how is Pharaoh going to listen to me? Sort of interesting. The way that's expressed is "Ve'ani aral sefatayim," that I have uncircumcised lips, would be like the most direct translation of it. But what that means, right, is that there's something sort of covering his mouth is what that implied by that, then, right? That something's getting in his way of. It's okay if people. So you guys can sit. Something's getting in his way of speaking. Not necessarily properly, although that's how it's always understood, that he had some sort of speech impediment. But it could be that there's just something he can't say what he wants to say. So okay, that's what we're not going to really talk about that. And then it says, Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh spoke to Moses and Aaron in regard to the Israelites and Pharaoh, king of Egypt, instructing them to deliver the Israelites from the land of Egypt. Okay, so what's odd about these 4 verses? There is something odd, I promise. Say it again.
So Adonai spoke to both Moses and Aaron.
Nice. That's a really great pickup. But it's also a difference between the first time and the second time where it says God spoke. Right? In verse 10, so Abby just said, it says God spoke to Moses and Aaron. It only says that in verse 13. In verse 10, it says that God spoke to Moses. So that's one oddity about this section of the Torah, and our commentators talk about that, but we're not going to. Sorry. Maybe tomorrow morning, Abby. Okay. But that's one of them. You got one. There's another oddity, though. Yeah.
The first paragraph says that he would let them depart, and the other was that he would deliver.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let's look at the Hebrew there.
Maybe that's just.
Verse 11.
He would let them depart. He would deliver them.
Mishalach et bnei Israel. Yeah, I mean, there is a difference between well, in the last verse it says the hotzi, right? To go out and shalach is to send. That binyan though, help me out. The binyan is it in the passive there? In verse 11, vishalach et bnei Israel. Yeah. And he will send out. Yeah. That's maybe not such a good translation of the text. Yeah. But they are different verbs. The shalach and yatsa. Okay. What else? What else is... Yeah. Either? Sure.
I don't know, the last verse doesn't really make sense. I mean, why would just saying it a second time change anything?
You were going to say the same thing? Yes! What's up with the last verse? Why is there this sort of odd repetition of what God said at the beginning? There's no new information. Yeah. Sure. Okay, right. So that's the only thing that's different, essentially. Okay, all right. So that's a possibility. But God starts speaking to Moses, and then Moses starts arguing, and so then God brings in Aaron essentially into the conversation. Yeah. So that's related to what Abby was saying before. Okay. We're gonna take these comments. Well, are there people back here? Oh man, okay, because we really want to get to the Rashi, but
who's talking first?
Sure, Nancy.
I think it's interesting in the verse 11.
Yeah,
God is saying, "Just tell Pharaoh to let the Israelites depart," and then in verse 13, he's speaking to Moses and Aaron in regard to Israelites and Pharaoh, instructing them to deliver the Israelites from the land of Egypt. Who's them? First, in the first verse, they're saying, "Go talk to Pharaoh and tell him to let the Israelites."
That's a great
leave.
pickup, especially that you got that in the English. That's a great pickup because it's that complicated in the Hebrew too. Of who exactly who's delivering? Who's the command to? Who's being commanded and who is the command to? Yeah. Okay. Yes, Avishai.
It seems like two bookends, basically, and what is in the center is Moses' insecurity about him being able to deliver that message to Egypt, to Pharaoh, and and then at the end he orders them. So the beginning he tells Moses, go and talk to Pharaoh, but the last is just really an order. Vayetzavam, he orders them, and he adds Aaron, which is the translator, which is the one who is not the one who is impeded, to go and talk to. If you don't understand Moses, you go with Aaron, and made it explainable, made it.
Okay, that's beautiful. I love what we're getting at. There was one other comment here, and then we're going to move on to the Rashi.
God instructs Moses and Aaron how to deal with the Pharaoh, but he doesn't say anything to them about getting the Israelites behind them.
Great. So these are all wonderful issues to take us into the Rashi, because Rashi's picking up on what we're discussing in terms of who's being commanded, why they're being commanded, what they're supposed to be doing with this commandment. Okay, so the first comment up below is the Rashi text, and so I'll read that for us. I didn't change any of the masculine. Sorry about that. So God commanded them as to the children of Israel. So that's quoting the Torah text, and then Rashi's comment is bidding them to lead them gently and bear them patiently, and then quoting the Torah text again, and to the Pharaoh, king of Egypt, bidding them to behave respectfully when they addressed him. This is the homiletic interpretation. Its plain sense is, God commanded them regarding Israel and their mission to Pharaoh. The substance of the command is explained in the second paragraph after the genealogical tree, but since the text had mentioned Moses and Aaron, a digression is introduced beginning, these are the heads of their father's house, informing us how Moses and Aaron were born and who their ancestors were, right? That's all of the following stuff that's about to come. There's going to be this ancestral tree. But the important point that Rashi's touching on is that it's not enough for Rashi that it's a bookend. Although I think there's something sort of beautiful about that, right? That you get this, God saying, go and talk to Pharaoh, Moses saying, I can't do it, God saying, you got to go do it, right? So that sort of conversant aspect of it. But for Rashi, that's not, and for most of our commentators, that's not a good enough reason to add a whole new line of Torah, right? There's something more that we can learn from this, and so the issue becomes Ve'etzevem et el bnei Israel, or Ve'etzevem. It says Ve'edaber Adonai el Moshe el Aaron Ve'etzevem, that God is commanding them. Rashi's picking up on this idea, commanding them not to command the Pharaoh and the Israelites, but is commanding them about how to talk to the Israelites and how to talk to Pharaoh, right? That's the new information that Rashi is finding here in this verse. Hold on one second. And so he says to us, right? You got to speak to the people in a way that they can understand you. In both cases, essentially. You got to speak to these people in a way that they can understand you. If you've had problems in the past of getting them to believe what it is that you're being sent to do, you have to figure out a different way of doing it, right? You have to lead them gently and be patient with them. And when you speak to that king, I know how you feel about him. I get how you feel, Moses, God's saying, but speak respectfully to him. Because, as my grandmother always used to say, you catch more bees with honey than you do with vinegar. Or is it flies? Yeah, flies. Probably bees also. Just saying. So why did I bring this? Well, one, I think it's. I love that our commentators will look at the text and take what. You could really just read over and totally miss any sort of deeper meaning that they want to pull out. They want to squeeze this honey out of this text. What more could it mean to us? What's something more that we could get from this? And then what he does with it, right? I think an important reminder to all of us that when we're speaking to other people, remember whom we're speaking to, right? Are you speaking to the Pharaoh? Are you speaking to the Israelites? Are you speaking to your friend? Who is standing in front of you? Because it matters. It isn't just that it's all the same information for everybody, that you deliver it in the same way. It matters who's standing in front of you for your message to be heard. And that Rashi builds that out of verse 13, I find pretty remarkable. Yeah. Here, I can. Hold on.
Okay. Since these
hold
verses,
it close.
These verses are kind of a bookend. Is there a difference in the chant, the intensity of the chant between the opening statement and the repetition? I'm thinking musically now more than even textually.
So the melody on the beginning of verse 13 is one of the more elegant melodies and not as common, although it's not terribly uncommon. But the rest of the chant is pretty straightforward, the most familiar tropes. But in the beginning of 13, it has this slightly different melody on the words, and God spoke to Moses and to Aaron. And it goes, Vayidaber Adonai. I did it too low. Vayidaber Adonai El Moshe ve'el Aharon, which is a little bit different than so it's a little bit different. But musically, there isn't a whole lot to hang your head on. Than that.
But maybe the rabbis, they're the Masoretes, they're called. This is the Masoretic text. They put on the vowing and the musical notation. Maybe they wanted you to slow down at that point in the text, right? Because it isn't as sort of as easy, right, as the rest of it, right? And so it does cause you to slow a little bit and notice that there's a difference. There's a difference here. Yeah, nice.
Right.
Yes, although right, that was a later addition to the text, so we have to account for that. But an interesting point nonetheless, I think. Oh, okay, Kettle. Since you're the president, you're going to get the last word. Hold on.
I was just noticing the two different verbs or infinitives. To depart from the land is kind of straightforward, but there's something very mystical about being delivered, right? What are they being delivered to, from? And the word is really an odd word, and probably it would appeal to both Pharaoh and the Israelites. Intriguing, maybe. What's going to happen next?
Yeah. So the word that's getting translated as delivered there is the root yatsa, and it really, I mean, when we talk about the going out from Egypt, yatsa mi Mitzrayim, right? So it is the sort of sending forth out of Egypt, or really going out, exiting. And shalach, the first verb is, I think, sort of less intense. I mean, it is also to send out, but in a different sort of way.
Mm-hmm. Why is the English to deliver?
I mean, it's not a bad translation. Kettle said, "Why is the English to deliver?" It's not a bad translation, but it's just the choice that whoever the translator is made.
As far as translation, to send out. In Lehotzee, it's to actually take out.
Yeah, we need to go and look at it at the binyanim really and decide, because I don't think it's yishla. It's not in the Baal there. It's vishalach. It's not vayishlach. Right? The Baal is vayishlach. Right, that's the depart. That's why they translated it as depart. To let them go, because it is passive there. Okay, let's close up our conversation. Thank you very much. Shabbat Shalom. We continue on page 586. Aleinu, if you're able, please rise.
Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula liyotzeh bereshit, shelo asanu kigoyei haratzot, velo samanu kimishpechot ha'adama, shelo samanu חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we love. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. I, of course, will mention the passing of Linda Levy. While we don't say Kaddish yet for a person who has not been buried, her recent passing is tragic, I'm sure, for not only her family, but many members of our community. We are in the first 30 days of mourning, the period of Shloshim for Roy Vanek, Mel Friedman, Barbara Fields, Eileen Rothenberg, and Susie Rafel. Our yahrzeits this week are for Rana Bassin, Ada Baum, Cantor Larry Charson, Celia Cohen, Ronald Curtis, Hazel Fisher, Jack Gins, Irene Goldberg, Joan Goldstein, Ben Harold, Alan Holliday, Sally Honigstock, Jean Katz, Beatrice Lawrence, Rose Levine, S. Daniel Levitt, Elizabeth Jaffe, Samuel Lowndy, Sadie Miller, Jerome Mursky, Florence Muskovitz, Richard Newpuff, Albert Pickus, Morris Rubin, Sam Solomon, Mildred Spoon, Louis Wagner, Herschel Wheel, Carol Weiss, and Mayor Wiss. If there are other names to add to our list for mourning, please do so as my eyes meet yours. For all of those mentioned, for all of those who go unmentioned, and for all of those who have no one to say Kaddish for them, we rise, page 598. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'chayei t'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'bizman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam Olamei Almaya Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh V'yitadar V'yit'aleh V'yithalal Shemei D'Kudusha B'richu Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechemata Da'amiran Be'alma V'yimru Amen. Yehei Shalama Rabbah Min Shemaya V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav uyase shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael ve'imeru. Amen.
Zichronam Devracha, may their memories be forever a blessing. Please be
Amen.
seated. It's my honor to invite back to our bima Jack Zients for some words of welcome and brief announcements.
I'd like to start by thanking the clergy and Ray for a wonderful and extra educational service tonight, and Susan. Is this better?
Much better.
My apologies. And thank Susan for lighting the candles, and Steve and Nancy for ushering tonight. Thank you very much. As always, there's lots of great activities coming up. I just wanted to focus, everyone has the list so can read them. They're on the back of our handout, but just wanted to focus very quickly on the ones this weekend. Tomorrow night, Dave Ostreicher is hosting a family euchre night in the adult lounge tomorrow evening. On Sunday at 3:30, the cantor is going to be having a wonderful session delving into the prayer book, exploration of the structure of the service. And on Tuesday, the Brotherhood will be hosting a Torah study in room 16 at 7:30. And that's to be followed by many other excellent activities as well. Thank you very much. Shabbat Shalom.
I just want to add a little shameless plug for Torah study on Shabbat morning. If you enjoyed talking during services today as Rabbi was teaching, we do that like for a whole hour on Saturday morning. It's beyond awesome. You should come.
Even if you don't enjoy it, you should come.
Fair enough.
Oh, yes. Yes, over here first. All right. Anybody else want to come up? Okay. Getting some takers. Come on, you just coming up. Not your sister? Awesome. High five to coming up. High five to coming up.
We also have Rachel.
All right. I don't know if I'm going to drink that.
Oh. Okay.
Oh. Okay. We'll still say the blessing, though.
That sounds like fair.
Yes, something. I don't know what's in there. At the very beginning of everything, which might have been in this cup. Yeah. God created the heaven and the earth. God made a separation between the sea above and the sea below, and God planted plants on the earth, and put the sun and the moon and the stars in the sea above, and put the plants on the sea below, on the earth, and then the flying creatures. No. And then the fish and the sea monsters in the sea below, the flying creatures in the sea above, then the creepy crawly things. Then God created us and said to us, you need some rest.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon himchilanu zikaron le'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehillah le'mikra'ei kodesh zecher litziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'chata Ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim Ve'shabbat kodshecha באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת לך.
We'll all have a drink together later. Someone else did the drinking for us.
Maybe it is just old. I'm not sure.
Oh, ew.
Okay. It's not that bad. Here we go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon.
No, this is very fresh. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Okay, now we can sing something. 625. Adon Olam.
Adon Olam Hashem alach b'terem kol yitzir nivra ve'et nasa b'chefzo kol azai melech shemo nikra azai melech shemo nikra ve'yacharek kivot hakol levado yimloch nora ve'hu haya ve'hu והוא יהיה בתפארה, והוא יהיה בתפארה, והוא אחד ואין שני, להמשילו להכבירה, בלי ראשית, בלי תכלית, ולא העוז והמשרה, ולא העוז והמשרה, והוא אלי וחי גואלי, וצור חבלי בעת צרה, והוא ניסי ומנוס לי, מנת כוסי ביום אקרא, מנת כוסי ביום אקרא, בידו אבקיד רוחי, בעת אישה והעירה, ועם רוחי יביאתי, אדוני לי ולא אירא, אדוני לי ולא אירא.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Interesting. The discussion, really interesting. When do I get up your sleep for tomorrow after tonight? Thank you so much, Marty. So much fun. So next week you're at the That's really awesome. Shabbat Shalom.
Can I just leave this right here?
No, you got it.
These.